Halloween is right around the corner, and to be honest, I've never been a huge fan. I get freaked out pretty easily, and I have zero appreciation for creepy, scary things. There really isn't any part of me that enjoys being scared, and so celebrating an entire holiday around scary things just is not my jam. There's something about the combination of being out in the dark, everyone's in disguises, and receiving candy from strangers that led me to believe that now would be a great time to talk about worries. So, whether you're worrying about Halloween or worrying about something else, I'm going to walk you through a process for handling your worries. I've been reading this great book to my kids lately called What to Do When You Worry Too Much. And even though it's a kid's guide to overcoming anxiety, it's so simple and straightforward. I'm totally going to be bringing it up a few times since it's on my mind lately. So, first of all, I feel like I should point out that I'm not telling you to stop worrying. I just want you to notice that it's possible that worrying is not serving you. A happier, fuller life might be available to you by learning to approach your worries in a healthy, more productive way. So that's what we're focusing on today. When it comes to a worry, first things first, we need to let ourselves feel our feelings. This is not something I'm good at, so it's actually been a focus of mine for the past year or so. I have the natural tendency to push feelings away. I would just rather not feel something uncomfortable, so I try to either ignore it or just get it to go away as quickly as possible. The problem is that because I'm not acknowledging the feeling, it just keeps hanging out and negatively impacting my life. So let's say that I'm worried about running out of Halloween candy. It's a couple of weeks before Halloween and I just cannot stop worrying about my stash of candy. Is it gonna be enough? Am I gonna run out? It's not in the budget to go buy more candy and I really don't wanna be left with a ton of leftover candy, but maybe I should just buy another bag just in case. I'm feeling really concerned about it and I'm spending a lot of time spinning over this decision. Now, my tendency when this is happening is to start judging myself for feeling worried about such a dumb thing. I beat myself up over the fact that I'm spending so much time and energy thinking about such a silly thing. But judging our feelings only adds to the negative spiral of drama. So instead of resisting it or judging it, let's lean into it a bit. What's the worry and what am I feeling when I think about it? So the worry in this example is that I'll run out of Halloween candy, and if I run out of Halloween candy, then I'll feel like I totally failed. My son already doesn't love his costume, the meal plan isn't really coming together for my in-laws who are coming over before we go trick-or-treating, so if I run out of Halloween candy on top of all of that, then I bombed the entire holiday. Now, all you moms are probably nodding your head. This is what we do to ourselves. The worries just keep piling up. So we really do feel like we have the weight of the world on our shoulders. And here we are, we're talking about Halloween candy, right? For me, with all that drama, I would describe the feeling associated with that as stress. And I almost always feel stress like this tightness in my chest, almost like there's a washcloth right here on my sternum and someone is just wringing it out. Can you picture that? Like how you wring out a washcloth? Like that's what stress kind of feels like to me. So once you acknowledge the worry and identify the feeling in your body, it's time to use your real thinking power to decide what to do with the worry. Like I said, worries are not bad. Clearly, it goes without saying that there are legitimate things for a parent to worry about. After all, we are responsible for keeping our kids alive and safe, so oftentimes our worries are totally warranted. They motivate us to take action to protect our child. It's these worries that might drive the decision to have them trick or treat with a glow stick so that cars can see them better, or make us decide to join them on their trick-or-treating so that we're monitoring their whole experience. We might choose to look over all their candy before they eat it to make sure that, everything's in a sealed package. All of those choices are made in an effort to keep our kids safe. But what about the worries that aren't necessarily worth our time and energy? the worries that have nothing to do with the safety of our child and only seem to bring us down. They monopolize our thoughts, dominate our time, and leave us with a pit of anxiety. Overthinking our kids' costumes, worrying that they won't like their costume, being afraid that they won't look as awesome as the neighbor kids. We could honestly go on forever. All the things that kind of swirl around in our mind. It must be a gift that we have as moms. Like, we could worry all day long. So, let's get back on track. We're faced with a worry. We've identified it, felt it, and we're ready to now use logic. So questions you could ask yourself to tap into that higher part of your brain are, is this a legitimate concern? Is my child's safety on the line? Is this something that I would like to take action on? For instance, let's say you're worried about the costume that you bought for your toddler because it's bigger than expected. This worry causes some anxious feelings, maybe some butterflies in your stomach, and after sitting with that for a minute, you're ready to use your logic. You may think through it and decide that it's a valid worry. You don't want your toddler tripping and falling, or honestly, like just struggling to keep up all night long. In this logical, rational headspace, you might decide to get online and order a smaller costume, or you might decide to pull out the safety pins and start getting to work on it. You put that worry to good use, and now everyone's all the better for it. Your kid is less likely to trip, and you're more likely to enjoy your Halloween night knowing that his costume fits him properly. Now, when you're using your logic, if you're coming up short finding a good argument for your worry, it may be something that we simply need to notice, acknowledge, have compassion on ourselves, and then move on with life. The tricky thing about worries, though, is they are super persistent. Even after we think we put the worry to bed, we can easily wind up worrying and worrying and worrying still. So let's go back to the Halloween candy example. We've spent days and days worrying about this, and finally, after using our logic, realized, what's the worst that could happen? If I run out of candy, then I run out of candy. I purchased the same amount last year and I had plenty. So, if I run out of candy, oh well, I'm just gonna decide to stop worrying about it and just not even think again about my candy inventory. It appears to be totally under control, right? But the problem is that our brain will try really, really hard to hold on to that worry. One of the book's analogies is the worry bully. It just keeps on coming back to bother us over and over, and so we have to continuously put it in its place. The author suggests establishing a worry time, that once a day you allow yourself to think about it or talk about it for a certain amount of time, and then any other time of the day, you lock that worry away into your worry box. You can flick that pesky worry bully off your shoulder or smash him on the floor. You can learn to talk back to it, to tell it to go away or to buzz off. And the more you do this, the stronger you become over that worry. Another option given in the book is to picture your worry as a seed. The more you water it, the more it will grow. We water this worry by spending time on it, thinking about it, talking about it, complaining about it, all of it. And the less we water the plant, the more it will wilt away. So these might sound like a little bit silly to us, all of these analogies, but the visualizations can actually be really helpful. I don't feel like many people have the skill to really keep their worries in check and really know how to handle their worries, so it might be worth giving them a try. The point is that we want to be really aware of the thoughts that we're giving our time and attention to. Beliefs are simply thoughts that we think over and over again. So let's be really careful about the stories that we're telling ourselves. You can stop worries in their tracks by identifying them, feeling them, using our logic, and then consistently forcing ourselves to think about something else. This will free up so much of our time and energy to do all the things that we actually really want to do. We'll stop getting stuck in indecision and doubt and anxiety and go after whatever it is that we want. So feel free to share one of your worries in the comments, get it off your chest, let yourself feel it, and then go out and enjoy your Halloween. I'll see you later.